I would like to begin by thanking you for your patience as we have worked throughout the summer to prepare for the opening of schools. This was a monumental task as information was updated constantly. My administrative team has spent a tremendous amount of time preparing cohorts of students that will remain constant no matter what future schedules we may need to address. We are prepared to implement our reopening plan that includes hybrid and fully remote students, as well as being able to go 100% virtual if health conditions warrant. We are also prepared for the day when we can welcome all of our students back into our buildings. I know I speak on behalf of the Board of Education, as well as our staff and administration, that we look forward to the day when our buildings will once again be filled with our students. As you can see, we have been dealing with the pandemic and the changes this has caused our district since March. Although we are implementing remote learning once again, I can assure you that it will not be the remote learning we experienced last spring. As I go through my presentation, I hope to highlight the changes. I greatly appreciate the feedback that I received from parents and staff as we prepared our plan. I'm sure you are all aware of the road back developed by Governor Murphy. The stages of reopening of the state as they pertain to schools are listed. We are currently in stage 2, which would allow a hybrid model with limited classroom capacity of 25%. We are hoping that we will be in stage 3 by September, where 50% indoor capacity will be acceptable. As per the guidance released by the governor and the Department of Education, districts were charged with the task to develop reopening plans that include in-person instruction as well as full-time remote learning. The plans were developed with 4 guiding principles: conditions for learning, leadership and planning, policy and funding, and continuity of learning. The complete document of our plan is located on our district website. I will be summarizing it in the following slides. Conditions for learning. The following section will address health and safety, screenings, contact tracing, classrooms, transportation, and building traffic patterns. The health and safety of our students and staff remain our #1 priority. In preparation of reopening schools, hand sanitizing stations have been installed in all classrooms, offices, and building entrances. Sanitizing wipes and cleaners will be available in all classrooms. In addition, masks will be required for everyone entering our buildings. All students are required to wear face coverings when in school unless they have a documented medical condition. According to the CDC, the most effective means of preventing the spread of COVID-19 is to wear a mask, wash your hands, and remain 6 feet apart. We will be following these guidelines at all times. Screenings are another means of preventing the spread of the virus. Parents will be required to screen their children prior to sending to school. We are working on an electronic reminder to make this a simple task. In addition, all staff will be required to submit health screening questionnaires daily. The CDC advises against temperature checks on site. The district will be working with the Atlantic County Department of Health to monitor positive cases and to enforce quarantine protocols. If necessary, we will need to close schools for periods of time if positive cases are identified. The CDC and the New Jersey Department of Health have not established standards about what to do in the school setting if and when someone tests positive for COVID-19. However, we will be enforcing 14-day quarantines for students and staff living with a positive COVID-19 patient. In addition, anyone presenting symptoms will be required to get tested. If a student or staff member tests positive for COVID-19, school-based close contacts will be identified and instructed to test and quarantine for 14 days. We will continue to press the state for guidance that we are prepared when schools begin. Contact tracing will be vital as we reopen schools. Our school nurses, along with building administrators, will work closely with the Department of Health to ensure that close contacts of positive COVID patients are notified. A close contact is considered anyone that was within 6 feet of a COVID positive person for at least 10 minutes. Although we cannot provide the names of students and staff, we will be forthcoming if positive cases are identified within the district and the actions being taken. I cannot provide definitive answers about how each suspected or confirmed case of COVID-19 will be handled, but I can assure you that we will follow the direction of the public health officials. Our custodial, maintenance, and ground staff will be essential as we open our buildings. We have developed checklists and protocols for cleaning classrooms, lavatories, cafeterias, auditoriums, gyms, hallways, common areas, and water fountains. Areas of high traffic will be cleaned throughout the day, in addition to in the evenings and on Wednesdays when all students will be completing remote learning. Bathroom occupancy will be monitored, and bathrooms will be sanitized throughout the school day. In order to facilitate the extra disinfecting, electrostatic sprayers have been purchased for the district. All classrooms have been measured to determine the maximum occupancy of students to maintain 6 feet for social distancing. This is equivalent to 50% capacity of students normally scheduled for a classroom. As per Governor Murphy and our district policy, all students and staff must wear face masks at all times unless medically unable. In addition to the hand sanitizers and wipes available, all classrooms will be equipped with 3 desk shields to further distance children if necessary. Elementary students will be provided with classroom supply bags, and specials will be taught in individual classrooms to reduce cross-contamination of materials. Locker rooms at the middle and high schools will be closed. Lunch periods will be broken down into 2 groups per period to allow for social distancing in the cafeteria. Transportation will be exceptionally challenging as we reopen schools. Based on the recommendations contained in the road back, social distancing should be considered when developing bus routes. In order to accommodate our students, bus capacity will be reduced to approximately 20 to 25 students per bus that normally contains 50 students. Because we cannot reduce the bus routes further, students will be required to wear masks while riding buses. The drivers will be sanitizing buses between runs for student safety. We will also unload buses upon arrival to reduce congestion at entrances. Our buildings will look different in September. Building principals have been working on traffic pattern, entrances, and signage for their buildings. Stairwells will be one way and multiple doors will be used for student entrances and exits. Social distancing will be enforced as applicable. Prior to the beginning of the school year, each building will have a video available for students and parents to view how each school has adjusted to the new requirements. Please check our website regularly for information. Leadership and planning. The following section will address our survey results, stakeholders meetings, scheduling, student and parent expectation, and academic supports. In mid-July, we requested that families complete a registration survey to select the mode of instruction that would best fit their comfort level and situation. I would like to thank you for your input. Over 2,700 responses were collected from all 4 schools. The majority of parents, 81%, selected the AB hybrid method, and 18% selected full-time remote learning. A small percentage elected to choose to homeschool and will need to disenroll their children from the district. In the AB hybrid model, students will be required to wear face masks. Most parents felt that their child would be able to wear a mask. As both models will require online learning, we also were seeking information on Wi-Fi connectivity. As Governor Murphy discussed, the digital divide is real. All students in K through 12 will be given either a Chromebook or tablet this year. In order to access all information from home, it is imperative that Wi-Fi accessibility is available. We have purchased T-Mobile hotspots for any family in need. Finally, as the number of students on buses need to be reduced, we requested that parents identify if they would be using district-provided transportation or would transfer their children. Based on this information, our transportation department is developing bus routes for the upcoming school year. In order to formulate our plan, we needed to involve stakeholders. This included restart committees at each building as well as at the district level. These committees comprised of administrators, teachers, parents, Board of Education members, nurses, and community members. In addition, each building has a pandemic response team to oversee health-related concerns. Because of the limited capacity of our classrooms as we follow CDC guidelines of keeping 6 feet of social distancing between desks, only 12 to 14 students can be accommodated in each room. As a result, we developed an AB hybrid model where students will be placed into cohorts and attend in person on a rotating basis. Students will receive 2 days of in-person instruction and 3 days of remote virtual instruction. Families will be scheduled together to provide consistency within households. Cohort A will include last names A through K and all AP Science students. This was necessary due to the lab components of the courses. Cohort B will include last names L through Z. Pre-K students and special education students enrolled in self-contained classrooms will attend 4 days per week, with Wednesdays being remote. Full-time remote learning will comprise of a combination of pre-recorded lessons and Google Meets. Students will be required to complete all assignments on Google Classroom and will be required to be online during the regular school day as various meetings will be scheduled. Students in grades 6 through 12 will have daily check-ins with teacher mentors. On Wednesdays, they will have live meetings with classroom teachers. It is expected that students will complete a minimum of 4 hours of work daily. Students in pre-K through 5 will have an assigned classroom teacher. This will be their assigned homeroom and will meet with this teacher daily. Specific schedules will be developed by each teacher based on student groupings. A description of the types of lessons to be expected will be discussed later in my presentation. The schedule illustrates the daily expectations of cohorts. Students in Cohort A will attend in person on Mondays and Thursdays and remotely on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Cohort B will attend in person on Tuesdays and Fridays and remotely on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Cohort C is comprised of pre-K students and special education students enrolled in self-contained classrooms. These students will attend 4 days per week, with Wednesdays being remote. This will provide for in-person related services to be conducted. Pre-K students will have the same half-day schedule as during a normal school year. Wednesdays will be remote for all students to allow teachers to prepare video lessons and meet with remote-only students. Using the feedback that we were given at the end of the year, we developed expectations for remote learning. The overwhelming response was for students to have a schedule. Students will be required to log in at specific times on remote learning days and submit assignments daily. In addition, staff will only be available during regular school hours to provide assistance. It is our goal to try and keep everyone on a schedule to provide consistency. Students will need to log into Google Classroom daily to access videos and assignments. We will be able to monitor online usage through a new system called ClassLink. Students must abide by all school policies regarding acceptable use of devices, internet searches, and HIB. Parents are expected to ensure that students are attending virtual meetings and completing assignments. To assist parents with this, we encourage everyone to register for Google Classroom notifications and remind. Information will be provided at a later date for these programs. As I have stated, routines and schedules will be essential to improve our remote learning. Students will be required to check in at specific times for attendance purposes, as well as to receive credit for assignments. Parents are strongly encouraged to monitor their child's progress. We have heard your concerns and developed a streamlined process to get assignments. E-boards will no longer be used. Google Classroom with an embedded calendar will be used for all assignments at every grade level. In addition, we have purchased ClassLink for single sign-in to all applications. Students will only need to use one username and password to access everything they will need for their assignments. Whether receiving in-person or remote instruction, we realize that our students need academic supports. Using federal funding, we will be providing after-school remote tutoring in language arts and mathematics by appointment. This will allow teachers to group students based on need. In addition, all teachers will have office hours where individual assistance will be provided. I encourage all parents to first contact your child's teacher with your concerns. This will be the most expedient way to receive information. Open communications and transparency will be vital to provide the necessary supports for all students. In addition, with the number of devices we will be issuing, there will be technology help desk at each building. The following section will describe curriculum information, staff expectations, student expectation, and parent engagement. All district curriculum is designed to the New Jersey Student Learning Standards and includes strategies for English language learners, students with IEP and 504 plans, enrichment, and RTI. The same curriculum will be presented to all students with learning activities adapted for hybrid and all remote instruction. Curriculum and pacing will be adjusted to allow for teachers to remediate any identified learning loss as a result of the closure during the 2019-2020 school year. Adjustments will also be made to accommodate virtual or hybrid instruction. The flipped blended instructional model will be used during hybrid instruction with 3 virtual and 2 in-person lessons each week. The 3 virtual days will consist of lectures, direct instruction, presentation, guided notes, videos, and independent practice. These lessons will be pre-recorded by teachers weekly. To ensure students are accountable, each virtual class will require students to complete a task to be turned in through Google Classroom by the end of the school day. In-person days will focus on student-centered instruction. Teachers will conduct formative assessments and reinforce concepts. This time will be used for class discussions, guided practice, lab activities, assessments, and differentiated instruction that includes reteaching for students who need support. Students who receive all instruction virtually will have access to the same virtual lessons as the hybrid students. Differentiated tasks will be assigned to students through Google Classroom. Remote students in grades 6 through 12 will attend scheduled meetings with each of their teachers on Wednesdays to receive differentiated instruction that will include reteaching as needed, as well as be assigned a mentor to check in on a regular basis. Students receiving remote-only instruction in grades pre-K through 5 will be assigned to a remote-only homeroom with one teacher to provide all instruction through Google Meet and recorded instructional videos. Students attending virtual instruction will take summative assessments electronically. Students attending hybrid instruction will take summative assessments when they attend in person. Common benchmark assessments will be used in all grade levels to measure student progress in core content areas. Additional progress monitoring will be gathered using online programs such as IXL, ThinkCentral, STMath, and Wonders. As a classroom teacher for 20 years, I know the value of the interactions between teachers and their students. Teachers will be expected to incorporate that interaction within their videos recorded for remote learning. All teachers will use Google Classroom assignments, and Google Classroom Calendar will be available on teacher pages on our new website for parent access. Schedules will be maintained. Specific times will be designated for remote check-ins and Google Meets to maintain connections with all students. Staff will receive training in various platforms, including Google Suite, Screencastify, Pear Deck, ThinkCentral, Wonders, IXL, and Defined Learning to provide them with the tools necessary for this task. In order to properly prepare, staff will have 5 days of in-service from August 31st through September 4th. This will allow for a smooth opening on September 8th for all of our students. Students will be required to sign into Google Classroom at designated times during remote learning and follow a schedule. Remote-only students will be required to meet with teacher mentors at designated times and attend all Google Meet sessions. It is imperative that students maintain schedules and routines. Assignments will be due at the end of the school day unless otherwise specified by the teacher. To facilitate remote learning, ClassLink will be used to monitor student attendance and engagement with assignments. This requires a single sign-in to allow access to all applications. With all school-issued devices, students will only need to log into their Chromebook or tablet with one sign-in. This will eliminate the need for multiple passwords for various applications. In addition, if a student is using a different device, they will be able to log into a virtual backpack located on the district website for the same access. Parent engagement is essential for student success. Strong two-way communications between the school and the home is critical for family engagement. This year, an application called Real-Time Link for Parents is being launched to allow parents to easily access the parent portal on cell phones. As all teachers will be using Google Classroom, parents again are encouraged to sign up for weekly notification emails that will communicate student progress. Google Classroom calendars will also be linked to teacher web pages on the district website to allow parents to easily check due dates for assignments. To assist family with the use of technology during hybrid or remote instruction, we will be providing video tutorials to help parents access Google Classroom, Parent Portal, and other instructional applications specific to each school. These videos and all information related to the 2020-2021 school year will be provided on our district website throughout the month of August. As we are 1 month from the start of school, it would be helpful if parents could do the following. Have your child wear a mask for longer and longer periods of time to become acclimated. Buy a reusable water bottle to reduce the need to utilize water fountains, and be flexible. Information changes daily, and we must prepare to adjust our plans. Our district website is being updated, and a new platform will be available in the next few weeks. This will make finding pertinent information much easier. Until this is fully functioning, a reopening link is available at the top of the district website. This presentation, along with information related to the first day of school on September 8th, will be provided. In addition, an email address will be created for parents to send questions regarding our plans. This will allow us to create a frequently asked question document, as well as to provide specific answers to parents in a timely manner. I realize this is a time of more questions than answers as we attempt to make the best decisions with the current information. We acknowledge that our schools need to be filled with children. Our plans have always been to provide an educational program to meet the needs of our students academically, socially, and mentally while ensuring their health and safety. Because we are unsure what the fall may bring, we have spent the past 2 months developing a plan that can easily accommodate a hybrid model or, if necessary, 100% remote learning if health conditions warrant. In addition, the class schedules we are creating will allow for a smooth transition to full in-person instruction that I hope will be in the very near future. We must be prepared for every scenario. No one knows what the future holds, but I promise you that we will do everything in our power to provide the best education for our students. It is not possible to please everyone, alleviate all fears, and know the answers to all questions this pandemic has produced. We continue to try to do the best that we can to open our schools safely while providing educational programs that will meet the needs of our students. Thank you for your patience and support as we move forward together.